Hey, I'm Duke on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and greensunzenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it. Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with Naya Depths and a list that I want to trial and see if it is the list that I would recommend for the Legacy Pit Open this weekend. This is a little bit different to the list that I play online. We're playing just 60 cards, no Maze of Ith. We're playing 2 Prismatic Endings in the main deck and a Misk in the sideboard instead of 2 in the main deck, which is a bit of a hedge against Delver, which I probably expect to be a large portion of the format. But yeah, really nice to just have Prismatic Ending in the main deck as well for any sort of nuances you're going to run into in the early rounds of a tournament. And still having 1 Misk main is pretty nice as kind of another win condition. The board I think is somewhat stock in that we have 1 copy of Minsk, a 2nd copy of Endurance, 2 Force Vigors, a Collector Oof, a Tower, 2 copies of Deafening Silences, and 3 Blast Effects. And then I would say the room for sort of metagaming is the Part to Exile, the Gaddock Teeg, the Choke, and the 3rd copy of Endurance. I did have Surgical as another way to interact with something like Reanimator. Just wanted to have earlier plays in something like Crop Rotation for Bajuka Bog. But Endurance is just nice because it probably comes in a few other matchups, and being a threat as well against things like Blue-White X Control or really any of the decks you're bringing in against, I think just is a little bit better. But we will see. A huge thank you to Panda in chat for sending through. Yeah, I'm not sure what the color is, but I am not wearing lipstick. I just have red lips. I didn't have a red drink. I'm not too sure what it is, but yeah, a huge thank you to you for the 2nd copy of Minsk. Really nice to borrow that. But I might actually quickly, I do have Flux open, so I might see. There we go. Maybe that's a little, nope, that's not. Yeah, classic. Hey Echo. Want to go golfing next time you come to Japan? Hell yeah, that'd be awesome. Probably do a 9 or, yeah, probably 9 holes. 18's a little bit too much, but too good. Hey P-Dits, too kind, too kind. All right, let's get into it. Nothing else too much to say. I think everything else is pretty stock. The only other thing is the 2nd copy of Tager. In here for the decks where you really want access to red, either in the mid to late game for Minsk, or the blast effects against something like Delver. I think having the extra Jewel is better than the extra Wooded Foothills, but it's definitely an interesting thought if it's better to have the extra fetch land, which is better in the early game for a Claimer, or to actually have the extra Tager. But again, tonight we'll see how it goes. Pretty keen to see how this plays out. Legacy League, Legacy Pit, Naya Depths, play points. Nice, nice, nice. There we go. But yeah, hope you guys are all well. And yeah, big good luck to anyone playing in the Legacy Pit Open this weekend, which I believe will all be televised, which is nice. Alright, we're on the draw. With an okay hand, like this straight up has a turn 3 win, thanks to cropping the Tager away for a Thespian stage. We also have white mana technically through Swords to Plowshares, thanks to crop rotation. We have a Minsk, which is pretty nice. Can move this across. And yeah, I think there's nothing, like there's no real early turn. It's quite reactive instead of being proactive with things like Reclaimer or Mox Diamond into Sylvan Library, but I think this is a pretty easy keep, especially just to have the combo on turn 3. Okay, probably up against Curses here with main deck Leyline. So this could be pretty interesting to see how it plays out. I would assume we see Crop go here. I think the Minsc is a little bit too far away. I don't believe they care about Swords to Plowshares, so it's probably between Crop and Knight. I think these decks tend to play Sudden Edict. So other than a Reclaimer off the top, we don't have a great way of protecting the Knight anyway. Hey Neuro, a huge thank you for the Prime sub. Too kind. Too kind. Well, that's really nice. I mean, they took the crop because they were obviously worried about it, and we drew into the crop, so... This is an interesting spot because I could lead on the Yav here, but if I need to crop it away, I don't want to lose the ability for Depths to tap for mana. So I think we'll just play the Taiga, because at worst case, the Taiga gets cropped into something else like a white source, and then we just have it going anyway, so... the only downside of not playing the Yav here is that if we just naturally draw into Thespian stage, we're then a turn off just naturally playing out the combo because we've taken a turn to play the Taiga, but I think the upside here is generally better to have the Taiga as a land I'm more than happy to throw away. Okay. I don't really care about this at the moment, but I probably want to get the Knight into play before... we go for the combo just to play around Sudden Edict. And because the crop pays for itself, I don't actually have to Swords here to make use of my mana. I can just untap and draw, so that's pretty cool. Hey, thanks Neuro. Very cool to hear. Glad to hear you enjoy the content. Okay, Step's not the worst here because it is a land that I'm probably more than happy to throw away for this crop rotation. Hey, Luca Boring, welcome. Opponent on 4 cards. Another Voidwalker's fine. I'm not going to use Swords here. Reclaim is actually pretty interesting because that also allows me to play around Sudden Edict, but also just have a creature in play while allowing me to hold up Sword and Crop Rotation. So I think that's actually going to be the play. Reclaim and then hold up Sword and Crop. This means I need like double Sudden Edict or maybe Fatal Push Sudden Edict. Alright, so we take 6 here, go down to 11, and they're on a 2-turn clock. Wow, okay, another Voidwalker. Ramen is a pretty dead card, so I think here again we just pass with Crop Rotation open. I guess I should actually play around Opposition Agent. So I think here what we'll do is crop away the Taiga for a Thespian stage, which allows us to hold up the combo, but also hold up Swords to Plowshares. The question is, do I have to play around anything else? Like, is it better to main phase it, play around Wasteland? I'm gonna actually quickly check. Because Sudden Edict is the only card that comes to mind, but we'll see. Alright. We're definitely doing this right now. There's no real option for that. We'll be getting Thespian stage. And then I think we're just making it now. Like, on the odd chance my opponent is playing a Wasteland deck, or Wasteland in their deck. It seems kind of poxy. I don't think we get, like, there's no sort of bounce spell that I'm worried about. Like with 3 cards, there would have to be with 1 card drawn, so 4 cards in total, they'd have to have land, removal spell, and it would most likely have to be land, Fatal Push, Sudden Edict. So I'm pretty happy just to... yeah, go for it now. Play on anything that I think they might have, and then pass with the swords open. Could have also attacked with the Reclaimer if I wanted. Alright, we go to 2. Nice. Very cool. Always a really interesting match, because a decks like this, I'm never too sure what some of their one-ofs are. But Curses is going to be an interesting matchup. So Curses tends to play the Leyline combo, with, of course, creatures like Delty Voidwalker, Hand Disruption. I don't mind the extra Minsk. I think Minsk is a pretty nice top deck. The big question is, are we playing the mid-range deck? Are we playing the mid-range plan or the sort of more controlling plan? If they're on Khan, I could see a world where the Gaddock Teeg is worth it. I don't think Deafening Silence is worth it. Pyroblast isn't. Collector Oof isn't. Choke isn't. Endurance is a flash threat, but that's about it. No curses? Okay. Maybe it's a case of just something like this. The Safekeeper is still fine as just a creature that allows us to play around removal. The Caracas could also come out. Hey Red, welcome. We are currently in game 1. How do I find the showcase? Quick, dudes, quick. Legacy, I believe, if we go like Naya Depths, then Mapson should over be here. Legacy Challenge, I believe that's what it's called. And then we have Black. Alright, Dorothy. Where are we at? A minute. Okay, we're heaps time. This is legendary, so I'll keep the Caracas. They do have Khan. Leyline, Lattice. Yeah, I don't think it's worth bringing in the Gaddock Teeg, but I do like the second force. The Bog can most likely come out. I don't mind the Sword still. The Crops is still fine. The Ramen I can see coming out because of the Ley Lines. Hey NV Adams, welcome. Very well, thank you. I don't mind trimming a Knight, but I don't really want to trim on threats here, even though they have Ley Lines. Endurance isn't that great either. Quick look, I have way too many tabs. No, we have 15 seconds, we'll be fine. Yeah, I don't believe they use the graveyard, so let's take out the endurance. And then potentially 1 Mox. I think that's pretty sweet. Yeah. Alright. What do we have here? We have a 2-lander. One is Dark Depths, one is Caracas. We can't cast the double crop. We can cast removal spells, but I really want to keep a land heavy hand in this matchup where I can actually cast what I have in hand, so pretty happy to mull. This is better. We can bottom the step. The library can allow us to kind of come back from this mulligan. The Minsk is a great late game threat. We have access to early game acceleration, which is nice, so a few nice things here. Yeah, really glad. Oh, Swamp Pass makes me think they have Opposition Agent off a Ritual, which is interesting. I could lead on Windswept and then just pass, but then if they play a land and pass back, we're kind of stuck where we can't cast the library, so at least here we could go Taiga and then stage into library, which I don't mind. I think that's fine. Hey Arthur. I think the Mox version is better. but there are definitely some versions of the deck that have done really well without it. If you go to the greensunzenith.com and then up in the top navigation, you go to decks and then green-white depths, you can then see in there links to 2 lists that did really well, that looked at, that didn't play the Moxen and did really well at big paper tournaments, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Khan's pretty good here. I kind of hope they get liquid metal coating and then we can find Force of Vigor off the library. If they go for Lattice early on, then we can just go for Wasteland potentially. Wow, they go for Lattice. Savannah. Well, there's the Wastelands. That's pretty perfect. We also get white mana for the opposition agent, but we can only play 1 land this turn. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're playing the... Can we get away with drawing an extra card here? So getting the Lattice makes me think they have another Soul Land in hand. I think I'm paying for this and putting back the Knight. I don't want to pay too much. This is where Moxen would be cool, because then I could kind of double spell. Oh, and next turn, the Minsk... The Boo actually takes out potentially the Khan. No, because I need the mana. Tough. Yeah, it would be sweet if this was a white source. We could path this. No, it doesn't work out, but... Oh, gee. I guess there was a world where I could have played Windswept Heath first, and then if they're going to hold up Agent, we can just play 2 more lands and then play Library. And just get to a stage where we don't really care about the Windswept Heath. I think that's probably correct. They missed a land drop as well, which is pretty huge. I assume they tap down this. Which is a little bit tough because it means we can't ramp this turn as well unless we get Mox Diamond off the top, which isn't actually relevant because of the Khan, so tough spot for sure. I wonder here, if I really wanted to keep this Thespian stage, can I copy another land and then does it lose the artifact ability? I don't believe so, because it stays the same permanent. Because my thought here is if the stage stood around, if we could fizzle it, is say copy Savannah, and then we get to untap, play land, the plane's on top, and then play Minsk attacking the Khan. But I don't think that is how it works. I think the stage just dies no matter what. Oh, it's too late now anyway? That's very true. That is very true. Yes, there we go. Alright, there's a soul land. Yeah, the tough part here is that I think we take it and then do an end step path. Oh, I do need that. Put on top, put on top. Land. Knight. Yeah, it's very true. If I do it before the liquid metal anyway, it becomes a copy of a land that is also an artifact, and then Khan deals with it anyway. So I don't think there's actually a way to get around that. Tough spot for sure. I think because of how good our Green Suns and Minskers are, I probably don't want to bring in Teeg in game 3. If there is a game 3, but potentially the Mox Diamond, just for an early way to power out like a library or a Green Suns for Reclaimer, I think is worth it. But it's pretty tough because the top two cards are Fetch Land and Dark Depths, which both don't allow us to play the Minsk and Boo, which I really want to do. So the third card has to be something pretty good. Wow, they're cashing in the Khan. Okay. Does that mean they have a second Khan? We know about Lattice in hand. That's it. I wonder if they're getting... I don't think Torpor Orb is correct. Could be Sorcerer's Spyglass. Name Knight. But to be fair, the opposition agent is pretty much Sorcerer's Spyglass right now on Knight. Get Crypt. Okay. I guess potentially it's so that I can't attack the Khan, or it can just trade with the agent. But we have the fetch land, which is nice. Oh, it's a stage. Okay. Put on top, put on top. This is an interesting one. Because we can attack the Khan, but then if they block with Agent and then crypt us, we trade. But I probably don't mind that because I have a backup Knight. The way that I can survive that is by throwing away the fetch land. So we attack with a 5/5, they block with a 3/2, they crypt us to make this a 2/2. We then sack the fetch, which we can't search for because of the Agent. But it actually allows them to play it, I believe. Yeah, so I think we actually just see if we can trade these. And then I don't want to play this because I might just want to play the stage, play the Knight. No blocks. Crypt and not block isn't too bad either. 2, 4, 5. Unless they want to lattice now. And then block one Knight with the opposition Agent. Hey Hymo. Yeah, it's a tough one. Like Ali on MTGO has been doing a lot with legacy lands recently. Some pretty cool green-white builds. Maps and doing some awesome work, coming second in the showcase with Naya Depths, which is cool. Anzi, of course, winning back-to-back challenges, or 2 challenges at least, over 2 weekends, I believe, with 4-color Yori on Minsk and Boo. So, card's very, very good. I could potentially see like a Walking Ballista here. Oh, Sky Sovereign. Okay. Yikes. Is this crew 3? Oh, so they can crew it as well? Jeez. Oh, maybe Minsk and Boo next turn? Can we find a red source? Ah, of course. No. And I believe they can crew this. Crew 3, this is 3, so they can block with a 6/4, or 6/5, sorry. I guess we play Depths and then just pass with Depths open. Which is actually still really strong. I believe Oof does stop the ability to crew, but potentially not because it's tap any number of creatures you control. They can shoot my dude, that's fair. And then maybe have a Sudden Edict. I think this is my only out. If this goes, then we probably just take the concession. But I do like at least making my opponent have it. But yeah, potentially Oof is worth bringing in. I could see me actually taking out the Moxen, potentially. Oh, okay. So here's a pretty cool sort of piece of interaction, is that the combo will also make the Knight a 4/4, which means that the Sky Sovereign cannot make it cannot deal with the Knight, which is pretty awesome. So we actually have a creature that's going to stick around. That means like Sudden Edict by itself doesn't do the trick, which is kind of cool. So actually in a pretty good position in the larger scheme of things. We are at 7 though. But we can block this if needed with a 20/20 indestructible flying creature. Opponent thinking through their lines. Recently bought a Tega and started to build a deck for Legacy. Very cool. What is the Legacy scene like in Hungary? All right. The deck list on the side does not create Minsk and Brew. That is correct. Oh, okay. So we should actually create the combo now to stop this from exiling everything. Cardboard Live doesn't pick up Minsk and Boo yet. Alright, so now we have a 4/4 Knight and a 20/20 Lage. I guess they could Karn down to Ensnaring Bridge. And then potentially even like Voidwalker could get there. I believe it only deals 3 when it enters the battlefield or attacks. So by crewing, it itself doesn't sort of deal damage. So they can't respond to the combo by trying to kill the 3/3 Knight because they have to go to combat and actually attack with it. But just a thing you wouldn't really pick up on until you actually play with the card. But yeah, maybe that was my opponent's out. Maybe they thought if I missed, that if I didn't make the combo then, the Knight would not be able to become a 4/4 because the lands would go to exile, and then they would be able to crew the Sky Sovereign, attack, deal 3 to the Knight, which would be a 2/2, and then use a leftover mana to Sudden Edict us, and us lose the Lage. Coding the land, sure. Sure. I guess they can crew the Sky Sovereign to block for a turn. So that's something to be weary of. Pretty cool game, honestly. 3 mana. Plague Engineer. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that hits the Knight, which means they can now... I guess if they want to attack with the Sky Sovereign, they can take out the Knight, but they can't because they have to block with it with the Merit Lage. Wow. That's pretty crazy. I guess they're also just getting to a position where maybe where they can go wide. So this library has to be pretty good. I think Force of Vigor isn't really relevant. Ugh. Put on top, put on top. Still play this. There might be a world where we get to fetch with the Voidwalker not being there. They block with Sky Sovereign either way. All right. Did our best. I assume here we see them go for bridge. Oh, helm? Oh, they can just helm us? Tough. Nice. That was pretty cool from them. Didn't expect the helm. I'm going to take out the Moxen. I'm going to bring in the Oof. And I don't mind the Teeg, but it's pretty funny. I also don't mind just the flash threat of Endurance. I could see like one Mox in the deck. It's obviously nice in the opening hand, but I don't really want the top deck of Mox there. All 10 of these are actually turned off by our own Gaddock Teeg, so it's got to be a pretty narrow situation where Teeg is more relevant for shutting down our opponent than shutting down our own things. I'm just going to bring in one Mox. And we're going to see it in our opening hand and be really happy with it. Could be Endurance. Endurance is like just a flash threat. It's kind of nice. Mox is kind of nice because it also, if you have a opposition agent in play and you have a fetch land in hand, you can pitch it to the Mox Diamond. So it's not really a bad top deck in some situations. But typically in these kind of mid-range matchups, I cut on the Moxen, especially against the Karn decks. Even things like Painter. I think Painter is probably the best deck to compare this with. Another kind of mid-rangey deck where Moxen is nice, but you just have so many cards you want to bring in that just Moxen isn't that great. And also having the extra Tager in the mana base is quite nice for the red source. Yeah, I think that game's different if I play the turn 1 Windswept Heath. And then just allow my opponent to hold up the opposition agent. Yeah, it's true. Eborg allows us to potentially take out a Karn, which is pretty nice. Okay, pretty happy to keep this. It's probably just acceleration turn 1. Just getting rid of both my search abilities is quite nice. Probably going for Tager. Still allows me to get the combo online quicker as well. Yeah, Tager, Green Suns for Dried Arbor. Next turn, play the Thespian stage and also play the Reclaimer. Also gets us closer to Minsk and Boo, which is pretty nice. Haha. I don't think I'm going to run this out. I think any keep with no turn 1 play is most likely Dark Red Opposition Agent. And honestly, like, Dark Depths next turn isn't too bad. Dark Depths potentially better than Minsc and Vu, just because we have so many ways to play around Sudden Edict. Go for her eyes, boo. Yeah, this card's just been really, really nice. Yeah, it's true. Could be like a Dark Red Helm. So our best draw is probably just Force of Vigor to hold it up. Like, I could potentially take the turn to Green Suns for Collector Oof. Hey, Jerry Freeman. That's, not great news, of course. Hope you stay safe. I'm very fortunate to be in a country where, hurricanes aren't really much of a nuance here, but obviously in the US, that's a different story. They would need double ritual. Which, look, I've seen more crazy things than that. And a big thank you, Jerry. 24 months is very, very cool. So a huge thank you. Ritual Petal would only be 4, because the Swamp would need a tap for the Ritual for 3 mana, the Lotus Petal is 4. And then I believe you need 1 to pump into the Helm as well. Alright. Okay. Kinda scary because the Khan with 1 mana floating doesn't do too lot. Hey Granham, thanks for the raid. Hope you're well. What did you just play, and how did you go? Lands? 2/3/2s? Nice. That's cool. What color of lands? I assume green-red, but I know Ali's been playing green-white, which is pretty cool. Ali Super Qualifier list? Nice. Clean. Oh, they go for Helm. Okay. Well, I guess we go for Collector Oof here then. Which is actually quite nice, because now we have Green Suns. And then also go for it. Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think Minsk, as nice as Minsk is, I don't think here we have the luxury of holding it. Oof. Reclaimer. There is a world where I could also hold back the Reclaimer in hand to attack with Dryad Arbor as well. Hey, thanks, Master. Yeah, really nice to finish off the old black-bordered Naya Depths. Very, very cool. Hey, thanks, Granham. All the best. I hope cleaning goes well. Hope you have a nice week ahead. Crop rotation would be kind of cool as well. Oh, they're actually going to pitch the Khan. They're also down to 4 minutes, so something to think about. Even if they have like Ensnaring Bridge here, we have make a 2020 and then Minskin can fling it over the bridge, which is kind of funny. I really want to see some sort of fan art of Minskin like throwing Marit Lage over an actual bridge with like Boo kind of like looking on. Be kind of cool. Can't pick needles on stage would have been better line than getting Helm. Assuming they have needle on the board, of course. Yeah, it's very true. I guess they thought that if they get Helm, the turn goes to us, we play Depths, we pass, they play Helm and win before we can untap and get there. Agent is more than fine. I think here we just hold up the combo. Yeah, thankfully Oof, I think, doing a lot for us at the moment. Okay. Sheoldred? Sure. I don't believe Sheoldred has reach, which is nice. Nice. I could fling, but thankfully no need. I feel like the fling is kind of kicking them when they're down, especially when they've said GG's in chat, so pretty nice. If they gained 2 and they drew, yeah, definitely would have attacked with all. Or I guess we could just attack and then fling second main, which is kind of nice. Sorry, I should have flung. I should have flung. Chat said fling. In future, we will fling. Alright, up against Twin MTG. I actually really like this hand. This is a Mox Diamond hand that also has Flagstones with Green Suns for Elvish Reclaimer. Pretty sweet. Could also turn 1 a Reclaimer. Yeah, this is a sweet hand. Misty. Oh, Library I think is a little bit more enticing here. Especially if this is a Bolt deck, I kind of just want to play the Reclaimer when it's a 3-4. Tropical Island. Brainstorm? Okay. To be fair, like Max Distortion has been playing a rug list. We have seen Infect a little bit in recent weeks online. But honestly, Sylvan Library against a a trop deck, I'm more than happy to have. Yeah, really cool to see Sheoldred pop up in the oh, bug? Oh no. I think here they named Green Suns. I think Green Suns is a pretty sweet name. But I assume here they might also just have Veteran Explorer. Well, they chose Knight and they find it. Not making the trip, but I do want to make an article. Just giving my thoughts on, if I did go, what I would play, and how I think it would unfold. Okay. Don't really need these, but I don't mind paying for one. That means I've replaced the library, which is really nice. Pretty happy just to hold up both crop and swords here. And just go for Reclaimer. I think if they play a Veteran Explorer, then we crop for Bog. But I wish. Hopefully one day make it over for a US tournament. I have played in a few other... Okay. Countries, which is nice. Played at GP Vegas, played Legacy, played at GP Shizuoka in Japan. Maybe this is just Leovold. Ah, this could be a Lurin. This could be a Lurin. Yeah. I think I'm happy to let this slide and then just crop for Bog. We also put back another land, so I'm pretty happy just to crop here for Plateau, turns on all my colors, and then Bog's pretty nice because it also turns off the Cabal Therapy. I'm pretty happy to pay here. One, two, one, two, one. Well, that's a pretty good target for swords. Hey Star Fox, a huge thank you. Hope you did well. Getting stage first because it comes in tapped, so we don't really care if Dark Depths comes in tapped, which is nice. Green Suns is pretty strong, but I don't really need anything here, so I think I will just keep the Green Suns as a just in case. Do I want to pay? I don't think I do, honestly. We're just passing with the combo open. Dryad. Okay. Library's fine. Oh, they only have one card left? Hell yeah. Take that. Sack Plateau. Go and get Dark Depths. Copy. Nice. So funnily enough, Dryad makes lands. You control every basic land type, so we are definitely bringing in this 1 copy of Choke, because there is nothing better than Choke, not just tapping down islands, but every land my opponent has. Oh, they're at 20... Okay, we can draw land Minsk to just take it out here. Oh, close. I guess we're attacking with both. Then probably just playing the Triad, the Safekeeper as protection for the Maritlage. I guess this was kind of a free... Yeah, I should have actually dealt with that first. Yeah, that was an error. I think the play is just Safekeeper and then take out the library to keep them down to the card in hand and 1 card to draw. And hope that it's not like a Scapeshift deck. Surely not. Guess we'll find out. But yeah, I should have thought up before. For some reason, I just thought that they couldn't block the Reclaimer with Dryad. For some reason, like it would kill the Dryad, but obviously, I should have probably just taken it out and attacked with both. I don't really want to block here, so if they have a way to deal 8, then you got me. This thankfully doesn't do anything because we have Sajiri Step to give us pro, so we're looking pretty good. Nice. So they're going to be a bug deck that's pretty mid-rangey. Okay. Well, I like the Choke. I don't mind the Path. The extra Minsk is pretty strong, and probably some number of blast effects. I don't like the Moxen. And in that case, I'm pretty happy to trim on second Taiga. And probably 1 Yav. I don't mind an extra endurance. Where do I want to make the cut? There's a world where I don't care about the second Minsk. But it is pretty nice. I really like these 4 in the grindy matchups. Yeah, it could be a world where we just don't even bother with the blasts and just bring in just generally good creatures, like the other endurance. I don't mind that. I think that's pretty cool. There is a thought on Force of Vigor, but I'm happy just to run through with the prismatic endings as my removal for anything we run into that isn't swordsable. It's a pretty sweet hand. Low to the ground, we have mana online. Pretty happy to keep this. Yeah, it's a great point about the blast effects. Like, just because they're blue doesn't mean they're always great. Like, I'd rather have something that's a little bit more flexible. Step is going to be fine. Hey, Mabson. Exactly, that's very true. Big congrats for your big win, or big finals finish in the showcase. Very, very cool. Especially after, in the latest edition of the Dark Depths podcast, you did say you've had about 2 weeks, I think, off the format, which is pretty sweet. They named Crop and they hit it. Okay. Another land. So here we have options. I kind of like, because of Cabal, I kind of like deploying the other Reclaimer instead of playing or holding up this one. Apologies, man, but you did really well, and like it's Doomsday. Come on, like, we know that matchup. We know that matchup, and it's Max, so double big. And I saw that turn to screenshot. So now all the best. Enjoy your week ahead, and we'll talk about our co-stream soon for sure. Yeah, I think holding up sword here is fine. Hey Lauren, welcome, and Even, welcome. Hey Punishing Waterfalls. I could play the step this turn, but I think I want to hold up the sword, so I am going to go with Plains because the Windswept Heath is unknown. Play the other Reclaimer because of the Cabal, and then get in for one. It was turn 1, that's right, it was game 2, turn 1. Turn 1 Oracle with Days backup. Yikes. The only time I beat Dark Depths was with Ghost Quarter or Doomsday. Very cool. Yeah, I love a good Ghost Quarter, or like, you know, Crop Rotate for second Wasteland that they didn't really expect. I'm going to assume this is Uro, but yeah. I'm happy not to do anything here and just wait for Bojuka Bog. Second Valakut. Okay, Spice. Another land. Windsweep's kind of nice here because it allows us to turn these Reclaimers into 3/4s. At least one of them. So here we get to either just main phase Reclaimer and attack for 3, which is pretty relevant because it also means that another Uro doesn't get them above the threshold. So I actually think I'm okay with that. Just to start beating down a little bit. I believe they know about both of these. Probably naming swords if they want to deploy a threat, just to get maybe some sort of value before we get to prismatic ending it. Green Suns for 1. Veteran. Okay. Fair play. We get to get our 2 basics here, which is kind of nice. Oh, we're just 1? Ah, because we already got 1. That's true. Always just a little bit scared about decks like this. Like, is there a world where they're actually playing Escape Shift in the deck? That's pretty nice. I think he was just going to hold up the combo over 2 turns. But opponent has a lot of mana. 2 + 6. Yeah, I assume we see a Titan this turn or next turn. But potentially they want to set up a world where they can get Dryad into play first. Reclaimers being 3/4 is really nice as well, because it means that 1 Valakut trigger doesn't kill them. Alright. Wow, that's gonna go at me. Oh, they have a land. Yeah, okay. That just does it. I think I'm happy just sending this back. Yeah, like I don't think I need any of this. I think the main deck is pretty well structured for this sort of matchup. The Cabal Therapy is definitely hurt. A little bit awkward with the Dryad Arbor. Yeah. I really want to make sure my mana is good, and this is actually great. We can bottom the Sajiri step, keep bottom step, and then we have turn 1 Reclaimer, turn 2 Sylvan Library. Not going to fetch either, because there is a world where we draw another land to play the library and they just want to actually fetch away stuff instead of paying for, say, 3 lands on top. Go for Taiga. Go for library. Attack for 1. Tear Asunder. Exile target artifact from enchantment. If this spell was kicked, exile target non-land permanent instead. That's pretty sweet. I guess he would just hold up fetch for flagstones. Nice. Happy to deploy this. Yes. I think forest here is better because we already have double white. We can take them off green here, which I think is definitely worth it. Damn. This card's pretty cool. Uro is fine because we have the endurance, which is nice. They have one card left. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah. Pretty happy to wasteland this field in upkeep. Oh wow, we can just hold up the combo here. 1, 2, get Dark Depths, copy. That's pretty sweet. I think that's going to be the play. Okay. Nice, okay. Just wanted to make sure they weren't watching the stream. Because they're very good at sniping with their Cabal therapies. They definitely know what they need to play around, so pretty awesome to see. I guess they could have Trophy on Depths, but if that's their last card, then that's their last card. Oh, nice. The grind is real. Pretty sweet deck for my opponent, though. Can be pretty scary. Like that game 2, they kind of like... It kind of just went out of nowhere. Like they had the Dryad and then land, fetch, boom, done. 12, 12, 12. Pretty cool. That card was very cool. I forgot the name of it. But the 1 and a green and then kicker for 1 and a black to destroy target permanent or exile target permanent instead. Tear Asunder. Nice. Only see it in Haruyu tournaments? That makes sense. Exile target artifact or enchantment. If the spell was kicked, exile target non-land permanent instead. I guess it's pretty relevant because it does exile Kaldra, which is pretty awesome. And then the flexibility is quite nice as well. Ah, Ramah. I'm going to assume Doomsday here. Which, I mean, we have like, you know, Wasteland with Crop, so I'm pretty happy to keep this and just hope. But even in the blind, a pretty decent hand. Interesting. Another Crop. Okay. Okay, Ramar. I see what's happening. Mm-hmm. All right. Tough. If you haven't checked them out, definitely check out Ramar on Twitch. I believe his Twitch is the exact same. I don't want to find it because I don't want to accidentally see something, but yeah, Ramar, very good player. Plays a lot of elves as well with Hello Newton on Hello Newton stream. So yeah, definitely check out both of those guys. Really, really good content. Ramar also playing some Naya Depths recently. I believe he trophied a few times with the deck, which is cool, or at least got some 4-1s. So, good range. And hey, at least they chose a pretty nice artwork for the Doomsday. I'm actually not sure if there's a different artwork for the online version. I think there is, and I think this is the traditional artwork. The Cephalid land. Yeah, I've seen people play like a Torpor Orb. Torpor Orb's nice because it probably comes in against a lot more matchups as well. Like Death and Taxes, it's quite relevant. The Cephalid land is in, yeah, the Ipnu Rivulet. Ipnu Rivulet. But 4 cards in hand, so I wonder if they can actually win this turn. Unfortunately, we don't have ways to interact with this, but I'm trying to think if we drew into Yavimaya, can we combo off? And I think we can, because we can go Yavimaya, 3 green, use 1 to crop away the Savannah for Dark Depths, go down to 2 green, and then tap the Dark Depths for mana for a 3rd green, use 1 green for crop rotation for Thespian Stage, 2 green floating, use that 2 green to copy the Dark Depths. So best draw is gonna be Yav. I guess I could also do it off another crop rotation. Hey Mining Man, too kind, thank you very much. Endurance would be really nice at buying some time as well, that's for sure. We are only playing 1 copy in the main deck. But another good one. Yeah, something like Ghost Quarter here would be pretty funny because I don't think Ramar would likely expect it. And it does shuffle as well, which is kind of cute. Thraben and Foundry in Saga decks is quite nice as well. I know Ali played that a lot in lands, probably still does. Also decent against Reanimator if you have it in your opening hand. Thraben and Foundry, for those who are unaware, is a 1 mana artifact that I believe you don't even need to put mana into to tap. You can just tap it, and you can put cards from a graveyard on the bottom of the owner's library, which is pretty cool. Hey Punishing Waterfalls, too kind, another streamer you should definitely check out if you do like legacy content. Good range, great range, plays a lot of cool decks, gets a lot of trophies. I wonder if Ramar is thinking about Endurance and then putting together a pile here to play around that. Oh, okay, so it's 1 and tap. Okay. Which isn't too bad if you have a Mox Diamond start, so you can Mox Diamond, play that, play a land, hold it up. Damn, Master G. Thank you very much. Giz, Bebop, Lord, Matt, Jig, welcome to the Zenith. A big thank you. Too kind, Master G. Thank you very much. Really, really, really appreciated. But that hype train's going. Nice. Choo. Too good. Always nice to see the locals as well in the obviously just having the window open in Mr. Bebot Online and Jig. Hopefully you're both looking forward to Eternal Weekend next year. Hey RH Will, thanks for the Prime sub. Too kind as well. This is probably the best use of time while my opponent is doomsdaying. To say that, hey, I appreciate all of you. A big thanks for coming in and checking me out. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me here. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me here. Yeah. Thanks, team. Funnily enough, oh, CanCon first? Nice. Yeah, I'd actually like to get to Canberra. I've heard good things about CanCon, especially the Highlander tournament. I know they have like a Legacy side event-ish style deck, which is cool, so that's pretty sweet. But yeah, Ramar deep in the tank. Thankfully, for anyone interested in Doomsday, Max recently put out a piece on his showcase winning page, which allows you to look at some Doomsday sideboarding. Put this in the chat. What's the 5 cards they pick normally? So thankfully here are some Doomsday piles. So typically it'll be something like Edge of Autumn, LED, Oracle, potentially double Oracle to play around something like Endurance. They could be playing Relic of Progenitus, which I've been seeing popping up as a way to get rid of their graveyard. But usually a few cycle pieces to be able to draw into Oracle and then cast it off LED. So like play LED, hold priority, and then get into it. But we'll see. Last time they replaced it with the second Highlander event? Okay, cool. Maybe Ramon went to sleep. I mean, yeah, Doomsday's an interesting card. I remember there used to be a player, shout out to Isaac, who used to play this locally back in the Sensei Divining Top days. And it was a sweet deck. A very cool deck to win that way. I believe it won with Labman. Because you Labman and then try to draw a card with Sensei's top. I think that was it. Yeah, he might also be going to deal with his family, which is more than fair. Ramar is definitely not someone who'd be taking the time just for the sake of taking the time, which is cool. So luckily, I've got a pretty cool chat to talk to. But some Doomsday's opponents don't have that luxury, and I feel for them. I really do. Yeah, it was really cool to see how good Highlander was at Eternal Weekend this year in Melbourne with, I believe, 104? Definitely over 100, maybe 107. I like to bring this up and make it look like I know what I'm trying to figure out, but it's usually too hard to see. There's one Oracle here, so I assume it is only a one Oracle piece. There's a Street Wraith. They've just used a... No, they haven't used a Street Wraith yet. Pedal. There's an Edge of Autumn. But it looks like they're just going to go off this turn. Choo choo. Three. Deep analysis in the bin. Nice. One floating. I assume another Lotus Petal. Nice. Alright. There is nothing we can do here, I believe. Because, yeah, crop is not an option in any way. Alright. Doomsday is always a tricky one. A lot of the cards in the sideboard aren't really for the matchup, but some of them do have crossover, which is nice. So Endurance is a fine card, Choke is a fine card, the Blast effects are great. I don't mind Deafening Silence just because it does more than stuff in the deck. Teeg probably isn't worth it. I do like the Collector Oof. I think Mincy is just a little bit too far gone. The endings can most likely come out. The swords. Pajukabog. Caracas. I guess I do have to think of things like Sheldra, which I've been seeing in the sideboard. Hey AKA, thank you very much. Hope you have a nice week. I could see like a library coming down or just keeping in a swords. The knights aren't that great either. But I could see the 2 endurances coming in for those. Yeah, it's very true. I think that it just has a pretty good matchup anyway against the deck. This is 58. Okay. Still think 27 lands with 3 Moxen is fine. Crops, Reclaimers, Safekeeper. It's really a case for me to try to still be pretty turbo on the... I actually don't mind the extra library. We can be really aggressive with it, which is nice. To be honest, it could just be a knight. I guess if they're on Sheoldred, I could just play the Caracas instead and take out the sword. At least Caracas is a land drop. I guess Teeg is quite nice because it allows us to play around Force of Will on Endurance. Yeah, I don't mind just seeing how Teeg performs, but I think if I'm green something for 2, I'm probably going for Oof more than anything. Pretty sweet hand. We're probably just going to go for turn 1 Deafening Silence off Mox Diamond. And then try to just get towards the combo off the Sylvan Library. So I probably don't want to show the Wasteland just yet. And we're just going to go Mox Diamond, pitch step, play Silent, play Stage, pass. Really don't want to die to a Dark Ritual start. I think now what I want to find off the Sylvan Library is just a land for the combo, and then a green card, most likely Endurance. No land drop. Okay. There's the land for the crop, and there's a blast, which is pretty nice. So if they do have like Brazen Borrower bounce, we can't protect it due to the Deafening Silence, but we do have Ramanap to kind of recoup everything, so it's not too bad. opposition agent. Yikes. Didn't think about that. Okay, that's pretty nice. Actually, I'm just going to make this in their upkeep. Rough. We can't fetch, of course. I think we just have to pay so that we can keep looking. Potentially I could have kept the land in case we draw into another Moxen off the top. Relic. Yikes. Hey, thanks, Panda. Too kind. Yeah, the opposition agent, the Brazen Borrower, and the Relic have really made this tough, especially the opposition agent also getting the stage. Just means we kind of had to go for it before they could hold up to copy our own. Yeah. Tough. Not too much to say. But yeah, big thank you to Panda for the second Minsk. Really, really cool. Hey coach, very cool to hear. Yeah, Legacy, last week I'm not too sure, but the week before I was there we had 19, which is pretty awesome. Pretty cool to see. Alright, DJs. Yeah, in the blind this hand isn't too bad. Pretty happy to keep this. Grove. Is it possible to combo turn 2? Yes, you could go turn 1, stage, turn 2. Dark Depths, and then have double Mox Diamond as well for a turn 3 kill. You could also go turn 1, Blood Sun. Okay. I think just to play around Blood Moon here, I kind of wanted to turn this Savannah into a forest. And then play Sylvan Library next turn. Yeah, it could be like a Red Prison kind of Yokel Pops deck. Forest. I wonder if they're playing like Thought-Knots here. If that's the case, I might want to take a turn. I don't mind Knight here over Library. Knight also allows us to get a Plains off the forest if they do cast a Blood Moon, and then we can get it back with the Ramanap. Not too unhappy with this, as the Swords wasn't doing anything with the Chalice out anyway. I could see them taking Ramanap. But they also... It's tough because we don't really care about the... I guess the Blood Sun means we can't really do a whole lot with the Knight other than grow it. They take the crop. Interesting. Even though the Chalice is there. Fury. Okay. Another Knight's pretty sweet. Hmm. Really need to find a... Jeez. Yeah, some way to remove this chalice first. Yeah, very cool deck. I think that's just gonna be it. Tough. I like the Force of Vigors. I don't mind the extra Minsk and the Path. That's probably gonna be it. Quick think, yeah. Endurance can come out. The Bog can come out. The Caracas most likely can come out and go down to these. I guess if they're playing Minsk, I kind of want to have the Caracas as a just in case, so... Safekeeper can come out. It's probably a land, but... Maybe not. I'm just gonna go down on step. Like maybe Dead Gone I have to worry about, but otherwise... Definitely an interesting hand. I'm not really considering like having the turn 3 combo in hand because of things like Blood Sun and Blood Moon. So this is a turn 2 Knight as a 3/3. We also get back the land from Ramanap, which is kind of nice off the Mox Diamond. We have Prismatic Ending if it's needed. Yeah. Okay. Play Stage. Play Mox Diamond, pitch Dark Depths, pass. Next turn play Yav, play Knight. Following turn play Ramanap, get back Dark Depths from the bin. Hearse is kind of annoying, but now they're down to 4 cards. Yeah, I don't mind getting Knight into play. Then next time we can potentially deal with the Hearse with the Prismatic Ending. Rough. Punishing Fire. Alright. This is the Blood Sun variant, correct. Question is, do I want to play the Reclaimer out or hold it up? They do have the Punishing Fire in the bin, which is rough. But it does take the whole turn away from them. And if we get to untap with it, we get to go and find Sajiri Step potentially. There's a world as well where, like, obviously Thought Knot here is very good when we're tapped off this sword, but I'm not... it's a really tough turn to do nothing. Okay. Does this mean that... No, they still get to... Yeah, because the... Yeah, okay. Not the worst draw. Get to land in the bin. So now they have just double Punishing Fire. Oof, Minsk. I'm just going to take this and then attack Minsk and hopefully get to a stage. Wasteland. Does nothing? Yeah. Really tough. Like, it's kind of a matchup where you just need to have Force of Vigor in your opening hand. Yeah, I don't think we have any outs. Like, it's just too good. Tough. Tough matchup to navigate without free stuff at the beginning. Like, maybe I'm supposed to just mulligan to Force? Or at least get a 6 that has... Yeah. I'm not too sure. Pretty happy to keep this a little bit open to anything unfair, but we do have the library to dig. Carpet. Alright. Well, that is one dead card, thankfully. This also is a 60 card deck. Interesting. Playing the Reclaimer out because I kind of want to see if my opponent has a prismatic ending that they'll use on the Reclaimer. instead of the Sylvan Library? No. This could potentially be like a blue-green Omni deck. Yeah. Knight is probably just the best card that we can put in here. Okay, that's pretty good. Because now we can just crack us back the Emrakul. Attack with the Ice Fang. Didn't expect that. This matchup is definitely pretty one-sided game 1, but we do have the Deafening Silences and Blast Effects game 2. Potentially even the Force of Vigor. If they're playing, I assume they're playing Omniscience. Opponent having a good think about this carpet. Play Reclaimer. Saxav. Go and get Caracas. We'll just return this now. And then pass with Reclaimer open. I think we'll go and get Stage and then play Depths next turn. Just hope. Not really looking for anything here. Put back these, play Depths, and pass. Yeah, this deck does look really nice when it is firing, but like we are also just dead to like one show and tell and like Cunning Wish or like Omniscience. Alright, very lucky to get game 1. Boarding out the Prismatic Endings, the Ramanap, 1 Wasteland, bringing in the Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast, the Deafening Silences, the Bajuka Bog can also come out, the Swords can go down, but not all out. I like the Choke, and I like the Forces. I don't mind Gaddock Teeg because it also turns off shared summons, which is pretty cool. Sadly, won't be at the pit itself because I am in Australia, but I'll hopefully put out some content before then for anyone going on Naya. Could just be Minsk, yeah. And 1 sword. We have blast effects for the Ice Fangs, which is nice. Really want to see either blast effect or deafening silence in my opening hand. Pretty happy to mulligan aggressively otherwise. Hand isn't too bad, but it doesn't really have that much of a plan other than just deafening silence. We do get to cast everything we draw into, but I think there's a better 6, which might be a little bit greedy, but I think there's a better 6 with a creature involved. This is closed with Teeg. This also has a pretty fast way to get to the combo. I don't mind this bottoming the Wasteland. And I did say that I was going to mulligan to Blast or Deafening Silence, but I think this hand has much of a plan that I'm happy to keep it. Well, that's pretty nice. Teeg's pretty sweet because it turns off Fine Mind Foresight. Will they play Ancient Tomb? Okay. That makes me think they have a Huh. Teeg is a throwback card for sure. That makes me think that they have a Intuition. So the question is, what are we putting in off a show and tell? It's probably the Teeg. So that means I want to play the Caracas for turn and then probably tap out for the Library. I don't think I want to play the Teeg. If I play the Teeg, I play it off the Flagstones and hold up Crop Rotation on the Flagstones. Then we can go off next turn. Yeah, I could potentially not show Caracas either. I do want to play the Library. So I think the turn here is going to be... Yeah, it's tough because I can't show and tell in both of these. I guess there's no big reason to not... to like just hold the Caracas. I actually don't think... Yeah, because their creatures don't have haste. There's no big reason to hold Caracas. Like if they have shed summons and somehow deal with the Teeg, then they're just going to win anyway because they both get haste. So I think it's going to be Flagstones into Library. Although stage into Library means that I have the stage in play the following turn. In case for some reason next turn I want to play the Caracas because they put in something like an Emrakul. I don't want to get... I think right now what I'm doing is getting a little bit tunnel visioned into the value of Flagstones being in play and having Crop Rotation open for the Flagstones. Because we can play Flagstones, tap Dried Arbor and Flagstones, play Library, hold up green for crop away Flagstones, but I'm going to put that over here for now. I think getting the stage into play this turn is better than anything else, because then next turn we can play the Caracas and then just hold up the combo with Crop. So I think it will be stage. I'm going to tap the Arbor here because my opponent might be able to interact with it on my turn, and then we can't have green up. So this also bluffs a red Elemental Blast effect. Only assume it's intuition. Okay. I just hope it's not Omniscience. I kind of hope it's a creature. Because Omniscience into creature is pretty hard to beat, but usually only if it's a... Well, they actually just get show and tells. Okay. That's fair. Ooh, what I should do then is potentially... Wasteland the Ancient Tomb. That's very interesting. I didn't think of that. I actually think that's quite good. I am going to get rid of the Dried Arbor because I want the red source for blast effects. I think taking them off the 2 mana there is a little bit better than trying to go for the combo down the line. No shuffle. Ooh, okay. It's another wastelandable source, which is quite nice. It's also another island, so Choke here would be relevant as well. Deafening Silence is great. And there's Wasteland. So we're going to pay for that. There's actually a case where I just buy this as well, go to 12, and just try to dig for more gas. The only reason that I don't like it is that I kind of like staying at 16 because it is an Emrakul swing puts me to 1. But I think at this case, oh, okay. Well, now we actually have the thought as well. Because we don't have White Source in play, we can't go Wasteland and Deafening Silence. But I think because I'm trying to play around Show and Tell into Omniscience into Emrakul, which gets through Deafening Silence, I just want to Wasteland here. And then next time we get a free look as well from the Sylvan Library, which is nice. Come on, Blast Effect. No. Alright. Nice. Brainstorm's perfect because it means that they can't cast Show and Tell this turn. Which means that upkeep, I'm actually going to sack the Flagstones for a shuffle to get rid of those 2 lands on the top of the deck. I don't mind Plateau. I think a second green source is actually relevant. And I think we just get Dark Depths here because it does turn on the combo down the line. Hey Bookish Matt, welcome. I did, thank you. Thanks to Ravenous Panda. Okay, Not great, but we will make do. I don't mind, now that we're like below life, I don't mind here. Probably going for Sylvan Safekeeper. As a way to protect the combo with a following turn. Just slowly, like a constrictor, trying to put our plan together while keeping our opponent off theirs. Alright, so here's Show and Tell. We can't beat Omniscience Emrakul, but we can try to beat some of the other stuff. Yeah, tough. Even if we put in Caracas there, we return it to hand, and then they just recast it, get another turn. Pretty happy just to run this back. Just having a quick look. Yeah, there's nothing else I really want. It's really just the blast effects that I really want to draw into. Well, when you say blast effect, sadly, I honestly think this hand is a bit of a trap, because although it has a lot of interaction, it doesn't have a great plan. We're not really going to be able to cast anything other than Deafening Silence next turn, so happy to mulligan this. This is much better, and this is actually a fantastic hand, because we had to go Deafening Silence into Hold Up Blast, into potentially Knight the following turn, so happy to keep and bottom the Dried Arbor. I think this also means I want to fetch and find a plateau to cast the Deafening Silence, because then if we draw into Wasteland, we get to Wasteland and also hold up Pyroblast off the one land, which is kind of cool. The nice sort of synergy between Deafening Silence and Pyroblast is that if my opponent casts a Show and Tell, that is their one non-creature spell for the turn, so then Pyroblast is pretty much uncounterable. So I think here I'd love to draw a threat. Not the threat that I want, but potentially the threat that I deserve. Because I'm not a big fan of casting this Knight and tapping off the Pyroblast, so having the fourth land that taps for mana thanks to Yavimaya is nice, because it means we can play the Knight on turn 4, holding up Pyroblast. The Preordain also put 2 cards top. No shuffle on the Ponder. Oh, another one. Okay, that's really nice. So now we can stop two Show and Tells, which is nice, and next turn we can deploy the Knight. Wow, still digging. Ah, interesting. There is a world where I could have played the Dark Depths there, and then if they have Show and Tell... No, I was going to say we could have Show and Tell in the red land to hold up Pyroblast on Omniscience, but then they could cast the Emrakul because they are priority before we get to deal with the Omniscience. And they get the extra turn, so pretty tough one. Not really looking for anything here. Like, any card is pretty relevant. Okay. The upside of casting the Reclaimer here is that if they Force of Will the Knight on the stack and I Pyroblast it, it takes me off Pyroblast on their turn. But I don't mind testing the waters here. Force Pitch Omniscience. Okay. Because I have the backup Reclaimer, I'm happy for that to go, because them untapping and just having Show and Tell with no defenses up is pretty busted. Also, Stage off top is just combo with double blast backup. Okay, another blast. Not really needed, but hey, we'll take it. I think now we're in a commanding position, and it's going to be very hard for our opponent to win, because most of the time this deck is just getting there with Show and Tell. Even Uro we can blast. Yeah, I'm pretty happy to blast this on the stack and then go and get Bojuka Bog next turn. They played a land for turn already as well, so they can't Show and Tell this turn as well. I guess I could counter this. But then they're down to 2 cards. Nice. Ooh, did we? Oh no. Ooh, okay. We can adapt. We can adapt. That's actually fine, because look, they get back the Uro, they go to 20, we make the 2020 sometime soon. We also have another blast for it, so we're Gucci. The question is, do I want to play the Safekeeper out? I don't think I need to here. I think I'm happy to hold up double... Maybe I don't need to hold up double blast. Yeah. Safekeeper and then 3 mana, 2 for Reclaimer, 1 for blast. I think that's fine, actually. We shall preserve. Persevere, yes. Nice. Alright. We get rid of the Taiga, and then we have the combo in these 3 lands, and then the Plateau to hold up, which is really nice. Feeling good. Feeling good. I can attack here with these 2 as well, with only 1 mana open. We can beat Show and Tell. You just need to find your 3 blasts that you have in your sideboard in your opening 7 turns. Easy peas. Oh, they're going to Cunning Wish? I wonder if they're getting like a Trick Bind. Yeah, I think I'm actually happy just to... Because I feel like what they're getting is a bounce spell with Split Second. But like, if they have, you know, land, Show and Tell, Omniscience, Emrakul, they get there, but thankfully they don't. So, bada bing, bada boom, we go 3-2. Which isn't too bad. Definitely on the lower scheme, but nice to play around that. We also get 1 chest, which is pretty cool. Not sure if that's worth anything. Probably not, but really cool artwork. Really, really cool artwork. Nice. List was pretty sweet. Like, I think Teeg was quite nice. Having the 1 choke is always nice. Probably more of a... I would say, although it does line up with the metagame, still a little bit more of a pet card. I see a lot of sideboards without choke, so it's not really needed. But the list was pretty good. There wasn't too many points where I missed having a Green Sun's target in Night of Autumn or Outland Liberator. Having the 2 prismatic endings was really nice. Could definitely be a third Minsk in the board. I've seen a lot of either 2 main 1 side or 1 main 2 side. I like the thought of 1 main and 2 prismatic endings main for the Legacy Pit, because I assume there's going to be a bunch of Delver. And prismatic ending just really nice in its flexibility to answer early game threats, no matter what they are. I also like the extra Taiga, if you do have it, over the second Forest, or some play 3 Dark Depths. I think having my actual mana online is a lot more important for me than having the Depths online, just because of the amount of ways we have to find Dark Depths. It's quite nice. Yeah, like, the deck's just really consistent, which is nice. I would say that, yeah, that the Mince, the Endurance, the Double Force of Vigor, the Collector Oof, the Tower of the Magistrate, the 2 Silences, the 3 Blasts are where I would say is kind of stock right now. And then where I'm having some creativity is the 1 Path, the 1 Gaddock Teeg, the 1 Choke, the 3rd Endurance. Like, Surgical would have been pretty cool. Like, we wouldn't have brought it in against the Punishing Fire deck, but I should have been more aware of that and probably kept in some amount of Endurance or ways to deal with Punishing Fire. Because Punishing Fire is just so good with Blood Sun against this deck, because you can't fetch and get lands in the bin to make your Reclaimers and Knights bigger than 2/2s or X2s. Which is pretty brutal, but hey, it is nearly midnight, so that is going to be me. A huge thank you to everyone who came in and watched, and of course those who became new followers of the channel and subscribers. If you guys want to find my content, you can find me as Dukes on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube. I'm going to send you guys over to Ramar, who is playing the Doomsday deck. Hope you're all having a great week. I'll catch you next time. Thanks again for your support. Cheers.